brought to you by Kellogg's. Kellogg's Cereals. The best to you each morning from Kellogg's of Battle Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line? And now, from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
On my left, the man that Arlene has been trying to get back from the coast for quite some time, and so have we all, Mr. Martin Gable.
My poor wife, I really had every intention of coming back all the time. And here she is, happy, bright-eyed, gay, Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman who becomes more endearing and younger every birthday, and tomorrow he'll be celebrating another one, and he can't have too many for us, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Giving Methuselah a good run for his money. I was down in Roanoke, Virginia, in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains this week, and I found that the lovely people down there are at two minds regarding our panel moderator. One camp insists that he talks exactly like Daniel Webster, and the other camp argues with equal vehemence that he talks just like Casey Stengel. Decide for yourselves. Here he is, John Charles Davis.
No matter which way the decision goes, I will accept it gladly. I think if I could obfuscate as Casey does every time he chooses to say a few words, we'd do better with the panel. Martin, it's wonderful to see you again in that place, sir.
Great pleasure.
Welcome, and I think we'll have some fun tonight. We've got some very interesting occupations. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before my friends on the panel a little bit later in the program. We'll meet tonight's first challenger after this one. And now to meet our first challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Tracy Barnes, right, sir? Mr. Barnes, where are you from, sir?
I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. May I present our panel? Mr. Barnes, now if you'll join me over here, we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Barnes is self-employed, deals in a service, and we'll begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Mr. Barnes, is it a service that those of us on the panel might enjoy or use?
Oh, I hope so.
Would we come to you for your service?
Yes.
Do you work indoors?
Seldom.
I would say basically what we're talking about, we'd have to give you a no on that, where we'd mislead you terribly. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Barnes, does the service you perform have anything to do with either entertainment or transportation?
Yes.
Which? Entertainment.
Yes.
Is there a sport involved in what you do?
Yes.
Yes, what he basically does, Bennett, has applications to a sport, right?
Have you ever sat on the bench or near the bench of a big league ball team?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Mr. Daly, I believe that our contestant is self-employed.
Yeah.
Therefore, what would he be doing sitting on a bench?
Be a bat boy or something.
Might own a baseball team.
True. That's what I wanted clarification on.
Is the sport that you are basically connected with a team sport?
No.
3 down and 7 to go. Martin.
Is the sport that you have to do with, Mr. Barnes, as not terribly physical?
I would say that's probably fair. I would also say at the same time that the issue of sport here was raised. We admitted that there was an application, but I wouldn't spend too much time on the sport.
Well, if I may use language that John has taught me, do you have an adjunctive connection to a sport?
Yes.
In other words, you don't actually play the sport, but in some way either support the players or relate to them in some...
Well, rather what we were trying to convey, Martin, was that in the area in which the particular skills of our guest are used, there is an element of sport practiced sometimes. It could be practiced by our guest. It might be practiced by others. There's an association between the basic occupation and the area of sports. Would that be fair?
That's right.
Well, is this sort of sporting thing a sort of man-to-man sport? I mean, if we were playing marbles, one
That would be a
against the other.
man-to-man sport?
No, it's not.
That's fine. That's 4 down and 6 to go. Miss Fredson.
However, what you do is also associated with some form of entertainment,
Yes.
as well as the sporting side of it.
That's right.
Do you have anything to do whatsoever in an area where there is all kinds of entertainment, sport and games and fun and so forth, everything going on in one place?
I would say no.
5 down and 5 to go. Sir.
Said something about the fairs.
Yeah.
Mr. Tracy Barnes, are there ever any animals involved in the job that you perform, the service? that you
No.
perform?
6 down and 4 to go.
Human
Mr.
beings
Gilgallen.
are animals.
Right.
No one we know, Bennett.
Mr. Barnes, you work mostly out of doors. Do you wear any type of garb that would give us a slight clue if we saw you wearing it while you were at work?
That would give you a specific clue as to his...
A slight clue, I said.
A slight clue.
You know, you want to be kind and say yes to that?
I will say yes.
All right.
Then you wear something other than what you're wearing now.
That's right, yes.
Do you work in the daytime?
Yes.
Out of doors in the daytime, and you're self-employed.
Self-employed.
That's what's giving you the trouble.
That obfuscates the issue.
Yes, it certainly does.
You know what that means, please?
Do you deal with grown-ups, chiefly?
Yes.
I would say the basic relationship where his service is engaged would be with grown-ups. This does not rule out the possibility that youngsters might be among those who would get some enjoyment out of what he does.
Certainly, John. Now, do people watch you do what you do?
Yes.
Would you regard them as an audience?
Yes.
Do they pay to get in to see you?
No.
7 down and 3 to go. I'm going to give you one more minute because you're not coming close.
Do you work in a ballpark?
No.
8 down and 2 to go. Ali.
You say you work outdoors. Do you ever work near water?
Occasionally, yes.
But it isn't necessary for the job to be
No.
where water is.
Not at all.
Do you in any way instruct or show people how to do something when you are at your job?
Not while I'm at my job.
No. 9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Sir.
Has your job got anything to do with automobiles?
No.
10 down and no more to go. Actually, if you'd stayed with transportation instead of going to sport, you might have gotten somewhere, because Mr. Barnes is a balloon pilot. Let me explain that one of the aspects of his activity is he'll go to big, what do they call them? Shopping
Shopping centers or merchants. I work with television and radio stations flying the balloons.
Flies the balloons, and he'll take a disc jockey up with him, and the disc jockey will play, and they'll advertise and promote some particular
It's done as
interest.
an advertising or promotion venture.
You always bring him back, too.
But he has a
Usually.
serious side to him, too. You broke a record in the last couple of weeks. You went up 7 miles, didn't you?
Just about 7 miles.
And it's all hot air balloon. You know, they just heat the air and she gets going, and you broke 6 records that
Could
day.
you go around the world
This
in
was
80
with a-
days?
Possibly, yes.
But I was going on Memorial Day. This is what tickles me. Mr. Barnes is going to leave Texas and start for New York, and he's going to wind up at the World's Fair. Now, how long is it going to take?
Well, we don't know exactly how long, but we're allowing about 3 to 4 weeks for it.
How do you steer a balloon?
You don't. You have to just sort of go with the wind wherever the wind's going. Just like if you let a toy balloon go, it's going to go with the wind.
And you use a compass to guide you?
Yes. Right.
Supposing the wind's blowing the other way, you may end up in South America
And you
instead
have to
of
go
in the
around
West.
the world the other way, I guess. But you have to wait till the wind is going the proper direction, and then the winds blow at different directions the higher up you go.
It's like sailing a boat, isn't it?
Very
Really?
similar, yes.
Except you can't
Tack.
thingamajig the tack, yes.
No, you can't tack. You can go up and down and get into a different level of wind.
Of course, you can always hire Bennett and stick him on the other side of the cab, you see, and let him talk up, and then the balloon goes that way. Thank you, Mr. Bob. Nice to have you with us. That was a very tough one, panel. I don't think you ought to feel unhappy about not getting it. Let's see what you can do with the second challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Stan Erlandson. Right, sir? All right. Mr. Erlandson, where are you from, sir?
Villa Park, Illinois.
Villa Park, Illinois.
Yes.
Nice to have you with us, Mr. Erlandson. May I present the panel? And now, if you'll join me here, we'll let the audience at home and the audience in the theater know exactly what your line is. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Erlandson is salaried and deals in a product, and we'll begin with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Is this a product that I could use, Mr. Erlandson?
Yes, ma'am.
We would agree that you could use it, Dorothy, yes.
Would you also agree that it might be rather humorous if I did?
Well, I would say it's unlikely, and certainly some folks would be amused if they saw you doing it. Let's put it that way.
Did you say there was a product involved?
Yeah.
Is it solid rather than liquid?
It's both.
I think
They're the worst kind, John.
Mr. Erlandson agrees we can amend that, Dorothy. We'll agree it's a solid, period.
It is a solid, mostly. Could it be melted?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go.
Never been so glad to get a no.
Barton.
Is this product something, Mr. Ellenson, that one sort of moves around on or with?
Well, I guess we would have to agree you could move around on or with it.
Sure.
If you had it and you were moving around, you'd be moving around with it. That's what we would agree to.
Yes, but is it something that tends to make you mobile?
There is some who would like to argue that point, Martin, but I don't feel we can. We'll have to give you a no. That's 2 down and 8 to go. I'll lead.
Is it a product that is used or is useful when something else is associated with it? By that I mean, is it a product that you might put something on or...
That's fine. That makes it
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Erlandson, can this product of yours be consumed?
Yes.
I like Mr. Ellenson's comedy style. by the way.
Mr. Erlandson, it can be taken in through the mouth.
Yes.
It can be eaten. Well, if it's a solid,
I would say,
It could. Let's put it that way.
could,
It
yeah.
could,
but it
yes.
isn't very often eaten. Is that it? Is it, does it grow, this product?
yes.
It has never been alive. Is that correct, this product?
In the sense of
an
animal
animal.
life.
No, no,
No.
Is it a member of the vegetable kingdom?
Yes.
Is it a vegetable?
Yes.
And it's rarely eaten, is that right? But it can be taken internally. Is it used, therefore, possibly for seasoning or in the preparation of food?
No, I don't think we could say it was used for seasoning. Of course, in a broader application,
Good, but not generally.
not generally. Think we ought to give him a no?
No.
I think you're right. Let's give him a no.
If it's used in salad dressing or used...
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Gallon.
Would you say, Mr. Erlandson, that it would be unlikely that if I went to my local supermarket, I would be picking up a batch of whatever this is?
It's not unlikely.
Well, we would agree it's unlikely you would, but it's not unlikely that somebody else might who
Does that make me funny or them funny?
Neither, actually, Dorothy.
I see. All right. Is this something that might be more pertinent to one type of person rather than another?
No, I don't think, not in those terms. 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Gable.
Is it something that is more often sold wholesale than retail?
No.
6 down and 4 to go?
Well, it's both.
It's both, but it's more often sold.
Yes, retail.
Retail.
I just would like to clarify one thing. You say it is consumed and it is taken internally, but you rarely swallow it?
That's it, yeah.
You take it some other way? Well, I mean, if you don't put it in your mouth and swallow it, how do you take it internally? Oh, you sniff it, maybe.
I'm going to throw it all over. I think you got it now. Change one vowel. Snuff. That's right. Yeah. Mr. Erlandson is head of the United States Tobacco Company's Snuff Division. And,
Snuff said.
Snuff said. Right. Be very good in salad dressings. I mean, it opens up a whole new market for Mr. Erlandson. The thing that fascinates me is you do put some flavoring in it, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
What
You could
sort of
put some
things do you
what?
use?
We use several aromatic flavors and oils, essential oils and
what
such,
kind?
yes.
Aromatic.
Yeah,
Certain
they put some
aromatic.
flavoring.
Now, it used to be believed that snuff... I know there's a big deal about it now on account of other controversies. Is snuff good for you?
Yes, sir.
Sneezing is good for you?
Yes, sir.
Why is it good for you?
Clears your head.
Clears your head and makes you jolly and...
Mr. Erlandson is not only a good executive, he's a good salesman. Thank you, sir. It's been good fun having you on What's My Life. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery challenger, for which, as you all know, my friends, are blindfolded. Are those blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes,
Yes,
John.
John.
Good. Will you enter mystery challenger and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, we now go to a different form of questioning, one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise. And we'll begin with Bennett, sir.
You caused pandemonium, that's sure. I would like probably John to answer this rather than mystery guest. Are you a slinky and voluptuous creature?
Yes. Miss Kilgallen?
Have you ridden on a subway within the last couple of weeks?
No.
1 down and 9 to go. Mr. Gable.
Are you a movie star?
Yeah.
Arlene?
Have you also appeared in the theater? Yeah.
Mr. Sir?
Are you present singing in a big hotel in New York?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you married to a star?
Yeah.
Martin?
Is the person you're married to male?
What?
Well, it's Slinky Creature. Sounds like a man.
She is Slinky.
Yes, but it's a he up there, the way it sounds.
If you know a slinky, voluptuous he, I wish you'd tell me about that.
You know about
I think the point...
Back to Hollywood, Martin.
I think the point has been well made, Martin.
Holy moly. Now, we have this voluptuous lady in pictures, and we have her in the theater. Are you at the present time appearing in the theater?
Yeah.
Just a moment, I have to have a small conference. All righty, fine. Good. We will let the affirmative answer stand. We'll let it stand in terms which I think would be familiar to all of you, and I will explain it afterwards if any explanation is necessary. Mr. Sir.
Could you by any chance be on your way to filling an engagement in Yonkers, New York? Well, I don't hear anything.
She just left to go to Yonkers.
No, but...
Yes or no?
Right now. Yeah, the answer is yes, Bennett. Do you think you have it?
I think it might be Jayne Mansfield.
I think maybe. Let me explain. When you asked, you know, if Miss Jayne was appearing now, I questioned the yes answer because she does open at Yonkers on...
Yonkers Playhouse on Tuesday.
On Tuesday,
yeah.
but she is rehearsing every day so that she's in the theater and you know, appearing in that sense. Now, I think we established...
She's doing
Banks fail in
the
Yonkers.
bus stop.
Yes,
Yeah. What's say, Dorothy?
I said, who cares what banks fail in Yonkers as long as you have the kiss that conquers?
I was just whispering in his ear.
You know, we have to go through Yonkers to get home from Mount Kisco, and the waves lengths are coming from their rehearsals, Jane. They're all across the parkway there.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I was so happy and very, very thrilled that you guessed who I was. So I guess for a while there I had everybody a little bit baffled because my voice, I never talked so low in my life, but it was fun.
You baffled Martin Gable. There's no question about that.
Considering,
I
John.
didn't think Martin Gable could ever be baffled.
Martin, are you convinced now that it's a female?
He's stunned. He hasn't been able to get a word out.
My wife doesn't allow me, Bennett, to discuss such matters.
Well,
Martin was
needless to
in a
say-
play with Miss Mansfield.
Right. Will success spoil?
Yes,
Rock Hunter, yes.
Rock Hunter, yes.
that's right.
Good fun. Well, that's why I thought Martin might be a little stunned. Well, thank you very much, Miss Jayne. You're very busy rehearsing, I know, and you've got an opening on Tuesday, and it's nice of you to come spend Sunday night with us.
Thank you. It was my pleasure, really,
Good.
John.
Lovely to have you with
Thank
us.
you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye. Congratulations tonight, panel, and they're forthwith given. And we'll be back after this word from our alternate sponsor. And good night, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Good night, John. Good night, and welcome home, Martin.
Thank you, Dorothy. Arlene, I'm so pleased to be back.
Sure, baby. And welcome to all the mayors that have come to town. And I'm glad you're here, fellas. Good night, Bennett.
John, good night to you, and take care of yourself down there.
I'll do that, Bennett. Thank you. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS Television Network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Cotter. Johnny Olson speaking.